Shalom lekulam, peace to everyone. Welcome back to Bayeeth Ma'azahn Network. Um, this is the Bayeeth Ma'azahn ministry portion where we go through the scriptures and make sure we relay it to what's going on with today, right? Because everything that was written before is for our good today. Everything that is instructed back then is for our good today, and we're going to see that. The title of this particular lesson or conversation is the Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. The Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. For those that do not know who I am Chief Prince Shama. I am the founder and president of Bayeeth Ma'azahn. Uh, in the Hebrew community, I'm known as Nasik or Nasik Rashi, which in English is Chief Prince. And Bayeeth Ma'azahn means house of balance for those that's just seeing this for the first time. House of balance. Technically, it means house from balance, indicating in order to have a house that's um, ordained, desired, and instructed by the Most High, there needs to be balance. Scripture says that a false balance is an abomination, and a lot of us are having those circumstances, that situation within our community, especially the so-called Black community, and even within the different religions, and also even within the Yisrael or Israelite um, banner, right? We have a lot of that, and we're missing something. We're missing something. So the Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. Now, majority of the lesson is going to be brought out through the Tanakh, which the Tanakh being the what people will say the Torah and Tanakh. It's really just Tanakh, right? You have an acronym, a T, a N, and a K. The T represents the Torah, right? The N represents the Nebi'im or the prophets, and the K represents the Ketubim, which is the writings. Ani Koteb, I'm writing, right? So majority of that will be brought through that. Also, I may bring out two passages or references within the literature from the first century or the New Testament for those that's tuning in here that want to kind of say, you know what, that was the old. I'm going to bring out the proof of why the Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. The examples of perfect, right? That word that we're afraid of, we're even afraid of righteous. So let's get to it. I don't want this to be long. I hope that you all tune in. I hope that you gain something from what's about to be presented. Um, if you find it in your heart and you want to donate to the ministry, all of the things that you can donate to are right here on the screen. If you want to follow us, you can follow us at House of Balance 12 on Instagram. Disregard the Bayeeth Ma'azahn network. It's a reason for that. I'll bring it out later. That's not present any longer. If you want to donate on Cash App or donate on PayPal, it's all here. Make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you share. Let's see if I can slow this down. All right. Let's get to it. It's a lot of delay, so hopefully it's not doing this the entire time of this. But let's go to what most people use, right? When it talks about righteousness. You know, you try to bring this out and the importance of being righteous and or perfect, and people say, well, we're but a dirty rag, right? Let's go to that scripture. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 64 or Yeshayahu. But we're going to start at 63. And we're going to start at verse 15. It says, look down from the heavens and see from your set apart and calmly dwelling. Where are your adore and your might, the stirring of your inward parts and your compassion toward me, right? This is being said. Who's speaking right now? Who's speaking at this particular moment? Let's keep going. Are they withheld? For you are our father to Abraham. Doesn't Though Abraham does not know us, and Yisrael or Jacob does not recognize us. Why? Because they're long gone, right? You, O Yah, or Yahweh, or Most High, are our Father, our Redeemer. Your name is from of old. I wanna bring something out. In verse 15, it says, "Where are your ador and your might, the stirring of your inward parts and your compassion toward me?" Who's speaking right here? Well, Yeshayahu, right? Where's your compassion toward me? It's a reason he's saying that. And we're going to be bringing that out as we continue to go. 17, 63 and 17. Let me bring this out. Well, I actually didn't write that down for you all, so just follow along. Verse 18, or verse 17. Oh, Yahweh, why do you make us stray from your ways? So first he says, where's your compassion toward me? Now he begins to say, why do you make us stray from your ways and harden our heart from your fear? Harden our heart from your fear. The Most High tries our heart, and that's going to dictate who we really are with the Most High. But the understanding of fearing the Most High is important, and that's what Yeshayahu is bringing out. But you're making us stray from your ways, he says, and hardening our heart from your fear. We need that to be obedient. We need that to serve the Most High. But why are you doing these things that's removing that from us? Let's keep going. Turn back for the sake of your servants. Turn back for the sake of your servants. So some people teach that the servants is Yisrael. That's true. We're supposed to be the servants. But right here, Yeshayahu is saying, turn back for the sake of your servants. Everyone wasn't serving the Most High properly. Keep that in mind, you all. Because before we get into that filthy rags, we need to understand context. And this is just a little bit of the context because this is just chapter 63, but context is within the whole entire Tanakh. But we're going to stay here for you all. Turn back for the sake of your servants, Yeshayahu or Isaiah 63 and 17, the tribes of your inheritance. So first the sake of your servants, but also the tribes of your inheritance, right? For a little while, your set apart people possessed it. Our adversaries have trodden down your set apart place. We have become like those over whom you never ruled. Your name is not called on them. We have become that way. It's a reason that we have become that way. We won't get into one of the major reasons, but it's due to how we acted. Let's keep going. It's a lot that you're about to get in this. I promise you. Just stay with me. Now we're in Isaiah chapter 64. Okay? Isaiah chapter 64, you all. Oh, that you would tear the heavens open. Come down, that mountains shall shake before you. As when fire burns twigs, as fire makes water boil, to make your name known to your adversary so that nations tremble before you. When you did awesome matters which we did not expect, you came down. Mountains did shake before you. Since the beginning of the ages, they have not heard nor perceived by the ear, nor has the eye seen any Elohim besides you, who acts for those who wait for him. So these are the mighty ones. These are the deities that people have. They didn't see the works of those mighty ones. You only seen the works of Yahweh Elohim. They have not heard nor perceived by ear, so they didn't hear it, Nor has the eye seen any Elohim besides you, because those mighty ones cannot do anything that we're seeing even to this day. The magnificence of the Most High. Verse 5, chapter 64. You shall meet him who rejoices and does righteousness. That's a key part. Who rejoices and does righteousness. Right? Rejoices is boasting in the Most High. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm having signal issues. I hope that it catches up pretty soon. I hope you can bear with me. But just keep listening. You should be able to hear me. Who remembers you in your ways. See, you were wroth when we sinned in them a long time. So we sinned in them, right? His ways. And should we be saved? So first, in chapter 63, we see Yeshayahu has said, or Isaiah, have you forgot about me? Right? He was setting himself apart from who he was speaking of throughout all those chapters that if you go back and look and study on Isaiah, you see who he's coming against. But then when he comes in a broadened sense, he starts to say, we sinned in them a long time, right? Let's keep going. Verse 6, 64. And all of us have become as one unclean, and all our righteousness are as soiled rags or dirty rags. And all of us fade like a leaf, right? And our crookednesses, like the wind, have taken us away. Let's examine that a little bit. And all of us have become as one that is unclean. Why? Think about the so-called Black community. Think about when things happen that's before the people. Now everyone looks, or something that's negative, or something that's wrong, or something that's wicked or sinful, and other nations see it. Then they start to look at the whole body, the entire people, as that thing. This doctrine has been created about we're all 50 rags in Christianity. It's even being created within our communities. That is far from what this is speaking of, but let's keep going. And all of us have become as one unclean, and all our righteousnesses are as soiled rags, right? Or dirty rags. And all of us fade like a leaf, and our crookednesses, like the wind, have taken us away. And there is no one who calls on your name, who stirs himself up to be strengthened. Wait a minute. This is verse 7 of chapter 64 in Isaiah. And there is no one who calls on your name. What about Abraham? What about Eob or Job? What about all these people before this context, this situation that Yeshayahu was talking about? Who was he sent against? Context matters. There is no one, it says, who calls on your name. It's a scripture, Psalms chapter 14, when it says that the fool says in his heart that there is no Elohim. The Most High looked down on the men, and no one was righteous, not even one. That's Psalms chapter 14. Fact checked it for me, you all. But then when you keep going down 3, 4, 5 sentences, it says, and they came against my righteous ones. He looked down on the children of men, but we're the children of Israel. But he looked down on the children of men in Psalms 14. But the context of that was the fool says in his heart that there's no Elohim. That's context. He searched the children of men, still dealing with the fool. No one was righteous, not even one. And they came against my righteous ones. That's what's happening right here, you all. And Isaiah 64 says, and there is no one who calls on your name. We know that's not true because we know Yeshayahu has. We know the other prophets have. So Let's keep going. Verse 7, there is no one who calls on your name who stirs himself up to be strengthened in you, for you have hidden your face from us. The Most High deals with the nation as a whole. So sometimes the righteous ones, the perfect ones, will get that bunt of that force as well, because they are a part, or we are a part of the group. There are protection measures that goes with those that are them that are focused and true and blameless before the Most High. So there is protection there. But as a whole, these are what the prophets, their jobs were to come before the people. More specifically, their jobs were to come to the leaders, those other, the leaders over the people, the elders. Because the hierarchy was, for example, let's use Moshe as an example. Moshe brought the news to the leaders over the elders brought it over the rulers of the other homes, right? And those rulers over the homes, those men, they will bring the message to the rest of the family. That has always been the case in the culture. But it's a lot that's missing with this. But let's keep going. Verse 8. And now, O Yahweh, O Yah, you are our Father. We are the clay, and you are our potter. And we are all the work of your hand. We are all the work of your hand. But everyone is not doing what the work of his hand has put before us. Only a remnant of a remnant. And we're going to see that as we continue. I'm telling you, you do not want to leave. Stay here. I hope that my connection begins to work better for you all. Do not be wroth, O Yahweh, verse 9, Isaiah 64, nor remember crookedness forever. See, please look, all of us are your people. Wait a minute. Please look, all of us are your people. Right? For the sake of those that's doing it right, that's trying to serve you properly, keep in mind, we all are your people. So we're suffering and getting that bunt of that force too. That's what Yeshayahu is saying right here. Verse 10, you set your cities, your set apart cities have become a wilderness. Zion, or Zion, has become a wilderness. Jerusalem, a waste. Our set apart and comely house, where our fathers praised you, have been burned up with fire. And all that we treasure has become a ruin. In view of all this, would you restrain yourself, O Yahweh, O Yah? Would you keep silent and afflict us beyond measure? Right? That's not the goal. That wasn't the goal of the Most High. That's not the goal of the Most High at all. But it's order that needs to be put in place. It's balance that needs to be put in place. And we're still needing that today. We're still needing that today, you all. Let's go ahead and jump to Isaiah 65. Yeshayahu 65. We're going to do 1 through 16. You all stay still. The topic is the Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. The Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. Let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. 65. I have let myself be required of, not by those who asked. I was found, not by those who sought me. I said, here I am to a nation not calling on my name. Right? A nation, the Most High is looking at us as a nation that's not calling on his name. This is not talking about everyone, but it has to be talking about everyone at the same time, because he deals with us as a nation. He sends people before the nation to bring forth what it is we are to do. The leaders, the righteous leaders. There was leaders put before us that weren't righteous, and these righteous leaders, prophets, messengers, had to come and bring the true word and understanding. We're seeing that today. There are many leaders. There are many teachers. There are many. And many are false. Let's keep reading. Verse 1, let's end verse 1 again. It says, here I am, to a nation not calling on my name. But today we'll be like, oh, we are calling on his name. But how do you really call on the Most High's name? Is it just from words? Right? Have you ever been working at a job and then, the boss, the supervisor, whoever it may be, they're seeing who you are due to what you're doing. And then they're also seeing your intentions too. And that kind of dictates what it is you're given or that you receive from them, right? But let's keep going. Verse 2 says, I have held out my hands all day long to a stubborn people who walk in a way that is not good after their own thoughts. The people who provoke me continually to my face, who slaughter in gardens and burn incense on slaughtered places of brick, who sit among the burial sites and spend the night in secret places, who eat flesh of pigs, and the broth of unclean meat is in their pots. I'm not going to stay on that topic, but that should let you know something, because this is Yeshayahu 65 right now, and it goes into some in Isaiah 66, or Yeshayahu 66 too. But we're not going to, this is not what we're tackling, because hopefully what I'm bringing out when we're going through the rest of these books or chapters, it'll spark something to cause you to understand that, okay, we should be keeping the laws of what we're not or are, or what we are, what we're not supposed to be eating. So I'm not really trying to pinpoint the pork per se, but you all do, you gather what you gather from what I'm bringing. Here we go. Verse 5 says, who say, keep to yourself, do not come near me, for I am set apart to you. Right? These are smoke in my nostrils, a fire that burns all day. These individuals are smoke in my nostrils, a fire that burns all day. So it's pinpointing certain things and certain individuals. Everyone is not doing this. So we are but filthy rags or becoming as filthy rags is due to individuals within the bundle. It's not everyone. But that's what we teach in many religions and many people who identify even as Israel. I pray this revealed through this, but we'll see. Verse 6, see, it is written before me, I am not silent, but shall repay, and I shall repay into their bosom. Your crookednesses and the crookednesses of your fathers together, said Yah, who burn incense on the mountains and reproach me on the hills, and I shall measure their former work into their bosom. Thus said Yahweh, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one shall say, do not destroy it, for there is a blessing in it. So I do for my servant's sake, do not destroy them all. That's the context right there. For my servant's sake, I do not destroy them all. Remember, in chapter 23, Yeshayahu said, have you forgotten about me? For my servant's sake, I do not destroy them all. We have become like filthy rags. Why? Because of the majority. Not everyone, but because of the majority. Isaiah 65. We're still in verse 8. I'm going to read that again. Thus says the Most High, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one shall say, do not destroy it, for there is blessing in it. So I do for my servant's sake, not to destroy them all. And I shall bring forth a seed from Yaakov and from Yehuda, an heir of my mountains, and my chosen ones shall inherit it, and my servants dwell there. Saying everyone. Those who are becoming like filthy, their righteousness is like filthy rags, right? Why? What's a perfect example? Most of the prophets are sent to those who was mistreating the people and was getting the ways of the Most High, the paths of the Most High wrong, and implementing their own doings on it. So, but in their mind, in their heart, they thought they were righteous. Their righteousness is like filthy rags. And Sharon, verse 10, 65. Sharon shall be a fold of flocks in the valley of Achor, a place for herds to lie down for my people who have sought me. Wait a minute. It's saying no one was seeking them. That's because the context is talking about those who have become, or their righteousness have become like filthy rags. For my people who have sought me, but you are those who forsake Yahweh, who forget my set apart mountain, who prepare a table for God, who will fill or who fill a drink offering for Meneh. And I shall allot you to the sword and let you all bow down to the slaughter, because I called and you did not answer. I spoke and you did not hear, and you did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I did not delight. This is not talking about everyone, but since the majority is doing it, everyone suffers, because we are supposed to be as one. The whole ideal is to be one. Therefore, thus says the master, Yahweh, see, my servants eat, but you hunger. Whoa, there's a distinction. My servants eat, but you hunger. See, my servants drink, but you thirst. See, my servants rejoice, but you are put to shame. See, my servant sings for joy of heart, but you cry for sorrow of heart, and wail for breaking of spirit. And you shall leave your name as a curse to my chosen, for the master Yahweh shall put you to death and call his servants by another name, so that he who blesses himself in the earth does bless himself in the Elohim of truth. And he who swears in the earth does swear by the Elohim of truth, because the former distresses shall be forgotten, and because they shall be hidden from my eyes. Let's stop right there. Some will say, hey, hold up. That's talking about some other people. They ain't talking about Israel. Oh, okay. What happened when Moshe came down from the mount? What happened? That was supposed to be our people. They got swallowed up. We got to stop playing with the Most High, y'all. It has become, the word of the Most High has become watered down completely. Context is non-existent. All of these things. But let's keep going. We have quite a bit to go through, so I want to make sure we hit that. Let's go to Isaiah 51:7. Isaiah 51:7. A lot of these now we're about to hit some one hitters, right? Some one hitters, because the topic is the Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. The Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. Let's go. 51:7. Isaiah Yeshayahu. Listen to me, you who know righteousness, a people in whose heart is my Torah. Do not fear the reproach of men, nor be afraid of their revilings, right? Do not fear the reproach of men, nor be afraid of their revilings. It's interesting that this is the words that's being chosen, right? For those who know righteousness, a people in whose heart is my Torah, right? In their heart, that instruction is there. In that mind, in your mind, his instruction is there. Do not fear. A lot of us are battling with what the scripture says or tells us to do due to what we're a part of here in the United States. Some will say, well, I'm not fearing. I'm doing this because of the situation that we're in. That's the level of fearing if you do not believe that you will overcome it. It could be a long time of going through something due to a decision we made or a decision we were put in and we continue therein as Dawid or Daweed. But if you remain in that righteousness, if you know that righteousness, you'll continue therein. But let's keep going. Let's go ahead and go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 18. For those that's tuning in, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to donate, you could donate on the bottom. It tells you the Cash App and it tells you the PayPal. All right. You can follow us on House of Balance 12 on Instagram. You can follow us on YouTube at Bayeeth Ma'azahn Network. Okay, Facebook is not, it's not that anymore. So if you go on Facebook, you will not find us on Bayeeth Ma'azahn Network. Let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel 18, 5 through 9. Ezekiel 18, chapter 18, verses 5 through 9. Let's go to it. This is just the beginning part, you all. We aren't even in the perfect part. We're still in the righteous stage. Wait a minute. Isn't that all that the Most High requires of us, to be righteous? The Most High requires something else. Righteousness comes from the works that you do. Some people won't like me saying that. It's deeper than that, and I will explain it. But everything is an action. Your thoughts, to think something has to be done, it's an action being made. To fulfill something physically, it's an action being made. That's a work being done, whether it's light or heavy. It's a load, some type of load. So you have to understand the verbiage. I know what's taught today, and I know the confusion that comes behind it, but understand we're going to stay according to what the Most High, the eternal source and unyielding power of all that exists, has put before his people and put in the literature for us to study. All right. And to do. Ezekiel 18, verse 5 says, but if a man is righteous and shall do right ruling and righteousness, so and shall do right ruling. So, but if a man is righteous, right, and shall do, that's an action. Right ruling, judges something in a balanced way. Right ruling has to be balanced. And righteousness, if he has not eaten on the mountains, nor lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel. So that shows that Israel had idols. We had them then, we have them now. This is talking about Israel, right? Those that identify with being B'nai Israel, those who don't identify with being B'nai Israel, but are still actually B'nai Israelites. It's letting us know right now. Let's go back to it. But if a man is righteous and should do right ruling and righteousness, so right ruling and righteousness. Let's stick on that. We're going to go back to verse 6 in a minute. Right ruling and righteousness. So right ruling is dealing with ruling correctly, judging fairly. Righteousness, remember it said that your righteousness have become as filthy rags, right? It's talking to those leaders and the people a little bit, but mainly the leaders. The prophets are going to the leaders, going to the teachers. Your righteousness have become as filthy rags. So right now it says, do right ruling and righteousness. So this righteousness that you're thinking you're doing, it has to be accompanied with right ruling. How can I prove this? Huh? Why can I think of the book right now? In Isaiah chapter 28 through 30. In Isaiah chapter, because all of this is connected. In Isaiah chapter 28 through 30, it showed that they were putting burdens on the people. They were not, or Ephraim, they were not ruling right, but they believed that they were righteous. Ezekiel 8 and 5 says, but if a man is righteous, this is what you look for. If a man is righteous, this is what you look for. You ready? And shall do right ruling and righteousness. Those two, both of them. But it's more. We still got to get to perfect. We haven't made it there yet. We still have to get to perfect because Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. Watch. Verse 6. If he has not beaten up the mountains, nor lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, nor defiled his neighbor's wife, nor comes near a woman during her uncleanness, if he does not oppress anyone, does return to the debtor his pledge, does not commit robbery, does give his bread to the hungry, and covers the naked with garment, if he does not lend on interest or take increase, turns back his hand from unrighteousness, executes right ruling in truth. Let's stop there. Between man and woman, executes right ruling in truth, because some people might believe they're executing right ruling, but it's not in truth. They're judging matters improperly. They're taking bribery. All of the above. Verse 9 says, if he walks in my laws and he has guarded my right rulings in truth, he is righteous. He shall certainly live, declares the master, Yahweh. I wanted to stop. We're going to stop there. Okay. Make sure if you haven't yet, you all, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. This is Bayeeth Ma'azahn. And this is the ministry portion of Bayeeth Ma'azahn Network. Our purpose is to network, right? Network, get out to the people the importance of balance and bring balance within the ministry that we're delivering, even in our music as well. But this is certainly important. These things, Ezekiel 18:5-9 lays out a lot of answers as to how to be righteous. Okay. Let's go to Micah. Micah 6. Ooh, we got to get through this. We got a lot to go through, y'all. Take notes. Micah 6:6-8. So we're dealing with some requirements of the Most High. With what shall I come before Yah, right? Or Yahweh Elohim. Bow myself before the high Elohim. Shall I come before him with ascending offerings, with calves a year old, right? It says, shall I come before him with ascending offerings, with calves a year old? Is Yahweh pleased with thousands of rams of 10,000 rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my being? He has declared to you, O man, what is good. He's been declared that. We're ignoring it. And what does Yah require of you but to do right and to love, loving commitment, and to walk humbly with your Elohim? A lot of us have definitions of what humility is, and that's cool. But is that humility based upon what we can read that was what was given to us? But it says he requires of you but to do right. Just do right. We know what right is, right? And to love, loving commitment. He wants us to love it. Just doing it is the one part of the perfect, but there's another part of perfect. He wants us to love loving commitment and to walk humbly with your Elohim, to love loving commitment. Keep that in mind. That's very important. Let's go to Isaiah 45. He wants us to love loving commitment. He wants it to be within us already. And one of the ways for it to be within us, it has to develop in us. It doesn't just happen like that. For some, it could. For many, it doesn't. So when we're reading Train Up a Child in the Way It Should Go and Not Depart, you got to train into that. When it says lean not on your own understanding, right? You got to go read the first 3 verses before you go to that, because it's instructions that has to be within you before you cannot lean on to your own understanding. Most Christians use that saying. Even people within our community use that saying, and we're missing those first 3 verses. In order to love loving commitment, something has to be embedded in you, nourished in you, formed in you. Okay, let's go to Isaiah 45. We're going to read 2 verses. Isaiah 45. Please take these notes of these chapters and verses and just meditate on what we're going over. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 24 through 25. All right. One shall say, only in Yah do I have righteousness and strength. He comes to him, and all those displeased with him shall be put to shame. In Yah, all the seed of Yisrael shall be declared right and boast. You're going to boast in the Most High. You're declared, all the seed of Yisrael shall be declared right, but it's within Yah. And there are steps and instructions required for that. Many would disagree with me, but I'm not disagreeing with their stance, because if you are the seed of Yisrael, you're declared right from that beginning. You have a fresh, it's already embedded in you due to our forefathers, due to the covenant that was given, that was created. But it comes with instructions, right? All the seeds shall be declared right and boast. Did all of us live through the things that we went through with the Most High? The people that were swallowed up, right? A lot of us was cut off. So that's not technically talking about everyone, but it's talking about the name of Yisrael, right? The seed, but that seed is attached to a people. It does not mean everyone, because we have to do things required. All right, let's go ahead and go to Psalms 23 and 3. For those that's tuning in, those that may not know me, I am Chief Prince Shama, or Nasik Rashi in Hebrew, the Chief Prince of Bayeeth Ma'azahn, where our purpose is to network and to bring forth understanding through the scriptures, our scriptures, through our music, me and my Isha, Nasika Amona, or Princess Amona, through books, right? I'll share with you some books that we put out. By the end of the first quarter, we'll have 7 books out. So our goal is to do that and to create and help balance, be the focus, because a false balance is an abomination to the Most High. We don't want to be abominable, right? Let's go. Psalms chapter 23 and 3. And it says, let's read verse 1 through 3. Yah is my shepherd. I do not lack. You do not lack, even when you believe you're lacking. When you believe you're lacking, you're not lacking because you have breath in your lungs. Your body is functioning the way that it's supposed to. Some may disagree with that because some of our body isn't functioning the way it's supposed to because of how we're treating it. Now we're playing catch up to get it back to that. But the Most High has breath in our lungs. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He turns back my being. Some people might read KJV, he restoreth my soul. Turning back to return to something, put something back in. He turns back my being. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Right? So if you have a father that trains you to be a basketball player, you're not that yet. You're getting all the steps to learn how to do it properly, to dribble properly, to score properly. You know what I'm saying? To score properly. I used to hoop. You know all the paths. Now you are a basketball player. If you make it to the NBA or you make it into, any organized basketball system, the paths was given to you. Now you are that. So he leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. So you are supposed to be righteous also for his name's sake, for the rest of the nations to see it. We're still dealing with righteousness. We're almost on perfect, you all. We're going to perfect. We have a few more places and then we're getting into the meat. Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. We're getting there. Let's go ahead and go to Daniel or Daniel, verse 7. Daniel, chapter 9, verse 7. Chapter 9, verse 7. And Yah, to you is the righteousness, and to us the shame of face, as it is this day. Context, y'all. To the men of Yehuda and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and all Yisrael, those near and those far off in all the lands to which you have driven them, because of their trespass, which they have trespassed against you. To you is the righteousness. But we've been driven, shame on our face, because we're not focusing on righteousness. We're afraid of it to this day. We're afraid to say we're righteous. We're so afraid to say we're righteous. We're so afraid to say we're perfect. Oh, that's scary. That's scary. How dare you say you're perfect? Sound like some of the men in Job, when he was saying that. When he was going through, he didn't understand that. Wait a minute. The Most High said, have you tried my faithful servant, the one who is perfect and righteous or upright? He had a moment. Everyone has a moment. But at the very last chapter, I think chapter 42, he said to those three men when it was four, a young man, that my servant said nothing wrong. But you said things that was wrong. Wait, that's confusing. How didn't he say anything wrong when the Most High was correcting him? Hey, are you able to count this? Are you able to? The Most High was doing what he was supposed to do as the Father. Get him back to where he was within those first 10 chapters. He was getting frustrated by the three men who were supposed to be there and comfort him, but they ended up antagonizing him. We got to look at it from a realistic point of view. That's what was happening with Job. because they had to go to him to get deliverance. That chapter before 42, I think it was, that's when he said, you know what? Now I know. He had to ask a question to get understanding. He had to ask a question to get understanding from the Most High. Abraham had to ask a lot of questions to get understanding from the Most High for Lot or Lot. He asked the same question with different numbers over and over to get understanding. There's nothing wrong with that. He was still that before the Most High. Perfect. But we're going to get into what perfect is in 1 second. So right here, it says, oh yeah, to you is the righteousness and to us is the shame of face. It's a shame of face because we was disobedient. We went against what he put in before us to classify us as righteous. Let's keep going. Let's go to Hosea 10 and 12. We're just going to go through them now so we can get to the meat, you all. We're almost there. I hope you're still here. If you have not done so yet, please make sure that you like, subscribe, share this message, share this teaching. If you want to donate, you could donate on below the screen. It has the Cash App, has the PayPal as well. You want to follow us on Instagram, it's House of Balance 12. You want to follow us on YouTube, which this will be uploaded on YouTube. So, or we are on YouTube, forgive me. Make sure you subscribe, Bayeeth Ma'azahn Network. But on Facebook, it is no longer Bayeeth Ma'azahn Network, so do not pay attention to the top, okay? Let's go to Hosea 10 and 12. Hosea 10 and 12, verse 12. It says, sow for yourselves righteousness. Sow for yourselves righteousness. You reap what you sow. Whatever you sow, most times you're getting because of what you sow, but sometimes you're not. Eob, he didn't sow anything to get that. Sometimes it's for the glory of the Most High to show the loving commitment that we are supposed to have towards the Most High, the idea of loving it. It's so many stories and messages that I can bring out with this, man. This is amazing to me. But it says, sow for yourselves righteousness, reap according to loving commitment. Let's see what that says in KJV. I know I'm saying that people are probably like, wait a minute. Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy. So mercy, loving commitment. Okay. Reap according to loving commitment. Break up your tillable ground. It is time to seek Yah. He comes and he rains righteousness on you. He come and he rain righteousness upon you when you seek him. But there's a seeking that you truly have to do. Isaiah chapter 1 talks about it, reasoning. 2 Chronicles 7:14 talks about it, right? It's not just coming before me. We saw that with Cain and Abel. They both brought something to the Most High, but he rejected one of them. It's a certain seeking. It's a way of seeking that we need to do towards the Most High. And those are stages to learn. You're going to learn through those stages as you continue to grow in Yah. Continue to listen to men and or women that are bringing forth this word to the people. And there's context behind that and what I said too, just in case, people are looking for things that you say wrong to discredit what you're trying to bring. And I pray that's not the case here. All right, let's go to Psalms 106. Okay, so he says, sow for yourselves righteousness. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Sow for yourselves Righteousness. We're still in righteousness. We haven't even got to perfect yet, you all. We haven't even got to perfect yet. Psalms 106. 106. Let's go to it. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share. Make sure that you like, you share, you subscribe. 106. Let's start at verse 3. We're going to read 3 to 16 and verse 21. Might as well read 1 and 2. Praise Yah. Oh, give thanks to Yahweh, for he is good, for his loving commitment is everlasting. Who does relate the mighty acts of Yah, or declare all his praise? It's so interesting how we say that it's not about works. Acts is works. It says, who does relate the mighty works of Yah? The Most High told us to be like him. Why wouldn't we be doing works or acts? Should we say acts to make it sound better? Something to think about, you all. Blessed are those who guard right ruling. So keep in your mind that you want to be balanced. Keep in your mind that you want to be balanced when you're dealing with people. You want to be fair when you're dealing with people. Guard that. Keep that to yourself. Make sure that you're doing it if you are a teacher. Make sure that you're doing it if you are a leader or wanting to become one. Blessed are those who guard right ruling, who do righteousness at all times. Not sometimes, at all times. I had a conversation a while back, and it was about titles, and we was talking about a judge, how this person knew the judge, and when he was at work, he was labeled as judge, but when he's put his gown up and he leaves, and he's no longer addressed as that. We don't supposed to do that. We're supposed to operate as we're operating in every minute and second. At all times is what it just said. Blessed are those who guard right ruling, who do righteousness at all times. Not sometimes. Not from 9 to 5. At all times, we are supposed to do this. Remember me, O Yah, in the acceptance of your people. Visit me with your deliverance, to see the good of your chosen ones, to rejoice in the gladness of your nation, to make my boast with your inheritance. Okay? To make my boast with your inheritance. We have sinned with our fathers. If you sin, that does not make you a sinner. If you practice sin daily, that's what makes you a sinner. You can't be a sinner and righteous at the same time. It's nowhere in scripture or any literature that we have that establishes that that's the case. And if it does, it is not of the Most High Yah. You can't be a sinner and righteous at the same time. A righteous person. You're one or the other. We have sinned with our fathers. We have acted perversely. We have done wrong. Our fathers in Mitzrayim did not understand your wonders. They did not remember your many loving commitments, your many mercies, but rebelled by the sea of reeds, rebelling. But he saved from them for his name's sake, right? But he saved them for his name's sake, to make known his might, to make known his authority, to make known his fame, to make known his glory. I said that earlier, right? Verse 9, and he rebuked the sea of reeds and dried it up, and he led them through the depths, through a wilderness, and he saved them from the hand of the hater and redeemed them from the hand of the enemy. And waters covered their adversaries, not one of them was left. Then they believed his words. They sang his praise. I'm reading all this for a reason. This is just showing how we are as a people, as Yisrael, as so-called black people. When things are right or not right, we're calling on them. When we get what we want, we give him praise, but then we fall back into not serving him. We fall right back into not giving that time that's deserved of the Most High. That servitude, that obedience. Because we got what we got. We got what we wanted. Right? Then they believed his words when they saw all of that. Why didn't you believe the words before you saw it? We are people that need that, and the Most High understands that. But when the Most High gives it to us, he wants undivided loyalty. A type of loyalty that is not easily manipulated and easily to be removed. He wants undivided loyalty. Verse 13, 106. They soon forgot his works. Oh, Most High has works? They soon forgot his works. Your works shows who you are. Your works shows why you are what people call you. Your works shows your dedication to a cause or something or someone. Your works, not your words, your works. But they forgot his works, which is why, if they forgot his works, we're being taught that works means nothing. It's not about works. It's just about this. But you can't, about faith. But your faith is dictated by your works. The love that the Most High has for us, is dictated by him showing it to us. They did not wait for his counsel, but greedily lusted in the wilderness and tried the Most High in the desert. Verse 15, Psalms 106. And he gave them their requests, but sent leanness within their being. Verse 16. And they were jealous of Moshe in the camp of Aharon, the set apart one of Yah. It's always a remnant of a remnant. Even when the Most High got rid of all the adults, it was still the youth that was there. It was still Yehoshua or Joshua and Caleb or Caleb. Moshe and Aharon, remnant of all the other ones. That's the case consistently from back then and today. The same thing is present. All right, y'all, let's go to 21 and then we're about to get into the perfect. Let's get into the perfect. 21, they forgot the Most High, their Savior. They forgot the Most High, their Savior. They forgot the Most High, their Savior. The one that sends, S-E-N-D-S, saviors to the people. They forgot the one who sends. They forgot the one that sins, and the Most High loves us and still sins. S-E-N-D-S. We wanted a king, but the Most High wanted to be our king. But he gave us a king and put parameters and rules within it. Let us know what could happen if we got a wicked one. All of this is in the Tanakh. All of it is there. This is what was taught after the Tanakh was written. For a while. His word. All right, let's go. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you share. Make sure that you like. Please, this is worth being shared. We're about to get into perfect now, you all. That was all righteous. We're about to get into perfect. Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 6, verse 9. Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 6, verse 9. And this says, this is the genealogy of Noach, or Noah. Noach was a righteous man, right? Perfect in his generations. Noach walked with Elohim. No one's perfect. I'm totally against that. Completely against that. Well, no one's without sin. Kind of against that a little bit too, but I'll explain that later. Um, Sin is subjective most times. I mean, think about it. The Christian church has created sins that wasn't even sins. That means it's subjective. If you have a household and you tell your children, I don't want you, you do not grab that coat and put it there. That's not in the Torah. That's not Torah law, but that's their Torah for their home. And if they break that rule or instruction with the coat, then they have sinned against their parents. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was righteous man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with Elohim. We're going to find out what that perfect means, but we're going to go through this. We're going to pick it up a little bit. We're going to find out what perfect is being spoken of. It's two perfects. This is the first one. Okay. Let's go to Genesis. Better sheet 17 and 1. We got to stop being afraid of calling ourselves righteous and perfect if we are that. If we aren't that, remove it. And then you don't have to call yourself that. But if someone is saying something against what you are, then let's let the Most High deal with that. Right? Let another man praise you. That's what the scripture talks about. So I'm not saying this to say, oh yeah, I'm righteous. Oh yeah, I'm perfect. But the Most High wants us to be perfect and perfect. Let's keep going. 17 and 1. Genesis 17 and 1. And it came to be when Abraham, or we know him to be Abraham, was 99 years old, that Yah appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am El Shaddai. Walk before me and be perfect. Christians will say, well, I've heard it. I ain't gonna say all. Will say, well, he put stuff in place and it wasn't for you to actually be able to accomplish it. Like, why would the Most High say that we can do something or be something just to be tricking us? And we fall for that? He said to him, I am El Shaddai. Walk before me and be perfect. Be perfect. Be thou perfect. But we're going to find out what that Hebrew word is, because this is the first perfect. We got to go through it, you all. Let's go Job 1. Job 1 and 1. Eob 1 and 1. And it says, there was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Eob, or Job, and that man was perfect and straight, or upright, and one who feared, remember we was talking about fear earlier, Elohim, and turned aside from evil. That is a heck of a resume. EO 101 is a heck of a resume. It says he's perfect, he's upright, feared Elohim, and he turned aside from evil. But we think is no one that today? We're teaching that there's no one that today? How do we believe in this literature that we call ours? All right, you all. Now, we got 3 more places to fulfill this first. Perfect. 3 more places. Only one verse scriptures, all right? 1 verses. Deuteronomy 18 and 13. Let's go to Devarim. Go ahead and put it on the screen for you all, just so you can be writing this down. Deuteronomy 18, or Devarim 18. Devarim 18 and 13. It says, be perfect before Yah, your Elohim. Be perfect. Be perfect. No one's perfect. Be perfect. Hold on, why is this not working? Let me turn this off. I gotta make sure I can see what I'm doing. Here we go. Okay, let me take this off real quick. Don't want anything to happen. Pull this up. Be perfect, it says in Deuteronomy 18 and 13. Okay, let me make sure that's the word I'm looking for. All right, we're going to keep going. It's definitely the word. Now, we're going to go to Deuteronomy 32 and 4. And what I'm going to do, because we're not going to mess this up. I don't know what's going on my screen, you all. I don't know what's going on my screen. But I'm going to go ahead and continue it going. Deuteronomy 32 and 4. Here we go. The rock. Let's go. Let's do 3. For I proclaim the name of Yah. Ascribe greatness to our Elohim. The rock. His work is perfect. His work is perfect. For all his ways are right ruling. Remember, he was telling us to be right ruling. Everything that the Most High is, he tells us to do. Everything. His work is perfect, for all his ways are right ruling, an ale of truth and without unrighteousness. Righteous and straight is he. Righteous and straight is he. Just and right is he. Okay? Yep, that's the word. We got 2 more places to go, you all. 2 more places. So that was Deuteronomy 32 and 4. Let's go to Psalms 119 and 1. Let's go to Psalms 119 and 1. Bear with me, you all. We're going to get to the meat. We're getting to the meat. Psalms 119 and 1. It says, blessed are the perfect in the way, who walk in the Torah or instruction of Yah. Blessed are the perfect. You got to understand this. Most people are not going to like this verbiage. Most people are not going to like this verbiage. They're not. They run away from this. We run away from this. We can build ourselves to be this, and it's not going to be for people to agree with you. It's not going to be for people to have the same thought process of what you're saying or believe that you are any of these things. It is of the Most High. The Most High will say to many people, like I'll use Josiah, that Josiah did all things right in his eyes. But was he right in the other people's eyes? All things? Heck no. But he was righteous. They know he was righteous. But even the ones that, it was a video I saw a video on Facebook. I think his name is Miguel. He's a singer, right? And he was part of a group. He was part of a group. And he was part of a group, and he came in there and he sang his butt off. Killed it ridiculously. And they said, well, no, he could sing his butt off. He's amazing, but I still don't like him. I don't think he should be in this group. He has a beautiful voice, but I don't know why he's singing like that. Like someone's always going to have something to say, even if you are what the Most High say you are, even if you are what they know you are. It's one thing to have something to say if you're not that. It's another thing to have something to say if you have been consistently showing that you are that. That's going to be the case all the way across the board with our people. That's going to be the case. All right, let's go to the next one, you all. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to 1 Kings. 1 Kings 8 and 22. 1 Kings 8 and 22. Hold on, you all. Hold on 1 second. All right, you all. Let's continue. Let's continue. So 1 Kings 8 and 22 through 23. Let's go to it. We're almost done. 1 Kings 8. We are still, actually, no. Yes, we are still in the first perfect. 1 Kings 8, 22 through 23. And it says, and Shlomo, right, or Solomon, stood before the slaughter place of Yah in front of all the assembly of Yisrael and spread out his hands towards the heavens and said, Yahweh Elohim of Yisrael, there is no Elohim in the heavens above or on the earth below like you, guarding your covenant and loving commandment or mercy with your servants, who walk before you with all their heart. All their heart. Okay? It's important that we understand that Devarim talks about all our heart, our might, right? Keep in mind with that portion right there. Let's go ahead and jump down to 59 through 61. Okay, so Shlomo is saying this. This is a prayer of dedication, right? He's saying this. He prays something. He does something that we're going to get into in a minute, but he's praying. He's talking about coming before him with all his heart. All right, let's go to 59 to 61. And it says, and let these words of mine, with which I have made supplication before Yah, right, for the people, be near Yah, our Elohim, day and night, to maintain the cause of his servant and the cause of his people Yisrael, to matter, or the matter of each day in its day, so that all the peoples of the earth might know that Yah is Elohim. There is no one else. Let your heart therefore be perfect in Yah. Let your heart therefore be perfect in Yah, or to Yah, our Elohim, to walk in his laws and guard his commands as at this day. This is interesting because we know where he fell at. We know where Shlomo failed at, right? But verse 61 says, let your heart therefore be perfect. This is a different word. The other perfects that I brought out is a word called tamim. And we're going to go through that in just a bit. It's called tamim. The other word that we're reading right now is shalem. You have tamim and you have shalem. One is dealing with action, right? Loyalty. The other one is dealing within you, within your heart, your mind. But I'm going to pinpoint some things to bring that out. This is the perfect that the Most High wants us to be. He wants us to be tamim with shalem. Perfect and perfect. Let's go to 1 Kings 11 and 4. Okay, we know that Shlomo fell off big time. We know that. And it came to be, 1 Kings 11 and 4, when Shlomo was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other mighty ones, and his heart was not perfect with Yah, his Elohim, as was the heart of his father David. So, wait a minute, you're saying that David's heart was perfect? Or Shalem? Wait a minute, what about the thing that he did with Uriah the Hittite? It says that he did all things right except the matter of Uriah the Hittite. And it was a few things that took place. He did a lot of things abominable in that matter. But after that, he continued with Shalem. Shalem is different than Tamim is blameless. right? Blameless in the instance and perfect in the instance of doing what the laws is telling you to do in regards to the Most High. It's doing what the laws is telling you to do with your brothers and your sisters. It's blameless. No one can really say that you're doing something wrong. They might say in their mind, like with the example I did with Miguel when he got with that group, and they was like, "Oh, he has a beautiful voice. Oh, he's amazing." But I don't think he could be on this song. Oh, he is a phenomenal, but people are still going to say something, but they can't really say anything negative about what he's doing. That is Tamim. Shalem is what we see David or Dawid or Dawid doing when all that stuff is transpiring. He's writing all this literature. He's dedicating all himself to the Most High. Not just trying to be blameless, but his dedication to the Most High. The works that he was doing. That's not benefiting him, by the way, but the works and dedication that's for the Most High. That is Shalem. That is perfect in your heart and thought. So those are the two perfects. Let's keep going. So we know that Shlomo, he fell off on that one. Okay. Let's go to, we only have 3 more places to go, and I'm going to close us out. 3 or 4 more places to go. We're going to go to 2 Samuel 22. 2 Samuel 22. I hope you all have been watching this whole time. The signal has been going in and out, so I've been, choppy, but you should still be hearing my voice. We're going to 2 Samuel. There we go for you all to write it down. 2 Samuel 22, we're going to do 1 through 4 and 21 through 33. Then David spoke to Yahweh the words of this song on the day when Yah had delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Shaul. And he said, Yah is my rock and my stronghold and my deliverer. My Elohim is my rock. I take refuge in him, my shield and the horn of my deliverance, my high tower and my refuge, my savior. You save me from violence, my savior. The reason that David was Shalem in his heart, perfect in his heart with the Most High, was due to the works that he was doing. Of course, we know after the fact what kind of took place here, but it's the consistency of his life. And I'm going to break down these 2 words a little bit in a minute. I wrote some things down to read to you all. But for that particular one, we've been freestyling this whole time, so hopefully y'all been enjoying it. Hopefully y'all been getting something from it. But that's why he said, I call on Yah, the one to be praised, the one to be praised, and I am saved from my enemies. Let's jump down to 21. It says, Yah rewarded me according to my righteousness. What? Yah rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands, he repaid me. For I have guarded the ways of Yah, or Yahweh. And have not acted wrongly against my Elohim. Right? For all his right rulings are before me. As for his laws, I do not turn from them. This is the same thing that Job was doing, Job was doing. It wasn't until the end that he had a little hiccup, a little question. And then he had said, basically, me paraphrasing, if he did not ask that, he would not have known. That's why the Most High said he didn't say anything wrong. But you 3 did. It's okay to speak on what you have done if someone is challenging. Right? It's okay to do that. I'm not saying to dwell in it, be going back and forth forever and all that. In the sense with Job, he couldn't really go nowhere. They was there hassling him. They was bothering this man. He couldn't move. He had all them bulls, all that stuff over his body. People coming there trying to challenge you. After you say a couple things, you can leave. You're not going through that. But Dawood is saying it right here in the very readings that we go to and we like. Can't be partial. Verse 23, for all his right rulings are before me. Verse 23, 2 Samuel chapter 22. As for his laws, I do not turn from them, and I am perfect before him. I am perfect before him. I was also upright, it says, before him. Certain translations won't say perfect, but the translation I'm reading says perfect because I understand what that word is. That word right there, it's not shalem, it's tamim. So it means he was blameless before him. It was nothing you can really say as far as how he moved, his actions at this particular moment, what he's writing about. He was blameless. And we do have those people today. The same as before is the same today. But we're afraid of saying those things. And I guard myself from my crookedness, right? Some people read that say, see, he's saying that this is what he's, no, you're going to guard yourself so you won't go down that path. It's a school of thought from Podkebot, or the ethics of the father, that says put a fence around the Torah. And you're supposed to be within that fence, right? So put a fence around it, guard the Torah. So everything stays outside of it, right? So he's saying, I guard myself from my crookedness. If you go outside of this fence, you may fall into that. You got to be purposeful. You got to be intentional. In order to accomplish this, what he wants us to be perfect and perfect, all the things we done read so far, these are intentional acts that we have to do, intentional works that we have to do. Verse 25, and Yah repays me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness before his eyes. Remember, he said, clean yourselves in Isaiah. Don't let Christianity teach you that, well, your righteousness is you're only righteous through the Most High. That's some truth in that. But the Most High told us to clean ourselves. He gave us the blueprint on how to do that. But in order for us to do it, we have to do it. We got to clean ourselves. So that's why you have David or David saying right here, Yah repays me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness before his eyes. With the lovingly committed ones, you show yourself lovingly committed. With the perfect one, you show yourself perfect. The Most High is perfect no matter what, but I understand what he's saying. With the clean, you show yourself clean. With the crooked, you show yourself twisted. For you have you save the humble people, but your eyes are on the haughty to bring them low. All right, let's keep reading. For you are my lamp, O Yah, and Yah makes my darkness light. For with you I run against a band. With my Elohim I leap over a wall. The El, his way is perfect. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. As for the Elohim, his way is, what do you think this word is? I mean, Most High said, be ye perfect as I am perfect, right? That ain't the word tamim in that one. I believe it's kadosh or kodesh, one of the two. But that's dealing with set apart. But he's telling you all around to be perfect. All the ones I read so far was tamim and shalem. This particular one in 22 and 31, 2 Samuel 22 and 31, this is tamim. The Elohim, his way is blameless, perfect. But we're going to get into that in a minute. Almost done, you all. For who is El besides Yah? And who is a rock besides our Elohim? El is my mighty stronghold, and he makes my way, what? Blameless. Tamim. Other people might not think that you are that. I'm staying in context because when you read a lot of things dealing with Dawud, he's writing about that. He's writing about his own people believing him they're against him. They don't think that's what he is. That's happening today, but you got to make sure that that's what you actually are. You're not just saying it. All right, that was 33. All right, you all, we're about to keep moving. We're almost done. Make sure if you haven't did it yet, subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. If you want to donate to the ministry, please, we have on the bottom where you can do so. Let's go to First Chronicles 28 and 9. We're only going to do one verses on these last two scriptures. One verse, I'm sorry, on these last two scriptures. First Chronicles 28. First Chronicles 28 and 9. This is David. First Chronicles 28 and 9 says, as for you, my son Shlomo, know the Elohim of your father and serve him with a perfect heart and with a pleasing life. He didn't just stop with a perfect heart, but a pleasing life for Yah. For Yah searches all hearts and understands all the intent of the thoughts. If you do seek him, he is found by you. But if you forsake him, he rejects you forever. Let's get a witness with that real quick. 1 Samuel 16 and 7. So remember, he said, come with a perfect heart and with a pleasing life. So I think it's interesting with the perfect heart with the Shalem, because sometimes in our thoughts, it could be so dedicated to the Most High. We can do works, we can do music, books, we can do all that, but our life is not pleasing. So not only does he want you to be perfect, but he wants you to be perfect and he wants you to have a pleasing life. That's can be done. Not pleasing life according to someone else, pleasing life according to him. Not perfect or tamim according to someone else, blameless according to someone else, but blameless according to what he has put in our scripture, our literature. Not shalem according to perfect to someone else, having a perfect heart, but that according to what we have seen that he has said about others. That will let us know the consistency of his reaction through our text that we read. That lets us know. Let's go to 1 Samuel. We're almost done. 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7. I went to the wrong book. 1 Samuel 16 and verse 7. And it says, but Yah said to Shemuel, this is the prophet, right? Do not look at his appearance or at the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For not as man sees, for man looks at the eyes, but Yah looks at the heart. That's what we've been reading this whole time. Shalem, perfect. Heart, that's typically attached to heart. That perfect is typically attached to heart. All right. All right. So we're going to do something, right? I typically always only teach from the Tanakh, but I want to bring something for those that may be watching this, that may be Christians or those that are heavily in the New Testament. You know, hey, it's nothing wrong with it for you. You know, as long as everything lines up with Torah, everything lines up with Tanakh. You know, I'm a student of literature, but I want to bring this out because some will say, well, you know, that's the old. What can you find what you're saying in the new? Let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke, chapter 1. And we're going to read 5 and 6. 5 and 6. There was in the days of Herodes, or Herod, the sovereign of Yehuda. We're not going to go into the history of that, but I just want to bring this point out. A certain priest named Zechariah, of the division of Abiah, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron or Aaron, and her name was Elisheba. And they were both righteous before Elohim, blamelessly walking in all the commands and righteousness of Yah. And they were both righteous before Elohim, or walking in all the commandments and ordinance of of Most High, blameless. This word blameless is a memtos. And when I look this up, this blameless is equivalent, or they're saying it's equivalent to the word tamim, which is the word we've been reading all through the Tanakh when dealing with calling someone perfect. Blameless. We're going to get into what tamim is in 1 second. Then I want to go, and I have to do this, y'all. I know I'm going to have some people not understanding the purpose of why I'm doing it. But I have to do it to really pinpoint and push perfect. And someone could have been watching this whole lesson and disregarded the whole thing simply because I didn't use a New Testament. I want to go to Matthew. I want to go to Matthew 5 and 48. 5 and 48. This is what it says. Therefore, be perfect as your Father in the heavens is perfect. Now, I know the whole context of this chapter, but it still does not negate what is being said here in this passage, right, in this book. And this perfect is also one that is connected to tamim. It's talking about mental and moral character with applications of labor, completeness, right? But let's go to one last place. Well, we're not going to go there. Yes, we are going to go there. No, we're not going to go there. I'm not going to do that to y'all. Let's end it with this. This is what I wrote out. So we have tamim. Tamim refers to the idea of completeness. We just read that. Well, I just read that to you with Matthew 5 and 48 when I went into the word. The idea of completeness. It talks about integrity and being without blemish, which is blameless. But the usage refers to being blameless, innocent, or upright. Often emphasizing moral purity, which is what we read in Matthew 5 and 48. Talking about moral, right? Morals, moral purity, or living in alignment with the Most High's laws, which we saw in Luke 1, 5 and 6. It said that they was blameless with the laws of the Most High. One of the examples I went to was Noah, and his was indicating he lived blamelessly in his behavior. So a lot of this is dealing with behavior. Tamim is dealing with behavior too, in connection with the laws of the Most High. All right. So tamim is often tied to external integrity or perfection in action. Suggests a life of wholeness and obedience where no fault can be found. But the problem with that is everyone can find fault in you. And we see that with every story that we read, even those that are righteous, even those that are what people would say sinless, people still find fault in you. So that's not what that is saying right there. Now, shalem is similar, right? Conveys the idea of wholeness, same thing, completeness and peace, right? Often describes inner wholeness, being at peace with oneself or others. That's not the part I want to pinpoint, but let's go to this. It refers to someone who is wholehearted or fully devoted. That's what we saw with David. fully devoted. All the literature shows that he was fully devoted, particularly in relationship with the Most High. Serving him with a perfect heart. Typically, the shalem, when it's attached to the heart, that's the word that's being used. Indicating undivided devotion. Remember I said undivided loyalty? And sincerity in worship. Not just being with your mouth, what Isaiah chapter 28 through 30 speaks of, right? Worship of lips, but sincerity. So this focuses on the internal completeness, especially in matters of the heart and the intention, indicating full commitment and alignment of one's desire and will for the Most High. So here are some key differences, just to go back over again. So Tamim focuses on external actions and behavior, right? Blameless in moral and ritual purity. Shalem, wholeheartedness in relationship with the Most High. We said that already. And to close it out, Tamim refers to perfection in behavior, while Shalem refers to perfection in the heart and intention. Together, they depict the idea of a person who is both outwardly blameless and inwardly wholehearted. And with that, you all, I yield. I hope it is something that you learned from this. Just to kind of pinpoint to something that I brought out earlier, not sure if you caught it, but remember the sacrifices that was given, or the offering that was given to the Most High with Cain or Cain and Abel. One was accepted. You have to wonder if one represented Tamim and Shalem, and the other only represented Tamim. Something to consider. So with all that, we are done. We appreciate you for tuning in. Please, if you have yet to do so, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure that you share it to folks. Leave comments. Let me know what you thought of the lesson, of the conversation. And I pray that you all grow in your walk, your closeness with the Most High, and you fulfill what it is He desires and commands of us. Yabrechem, Yahweh, will Yishmarechem. May the Most High bless and guard you all. Shalom. Wait, it is one thing I do want to show you all. Let me present something. Share my screen. Okay, so what I want to do is share, if anybody is interested in some of the books that we do have at Bayeeth Ma'azahn. This is the first book I actually wrote. I might do an updated version on this called The Road to Being Blameless. This was in 2016, I believe. Men versus Women War will be out the first quarter of 2025, next year. This book, The Way of a Righteous Community, should be out in the next week or so. And rules for protection. I think this is very important for our communities, those that may be in groups of communities on land, or just being a part of a community and not being associated on the land with one another. This can definitely help a lot of things that we have been going through in our current times. This should be out in the next couple of weeks. Let me go back to it. Then we have this book I just put out, The Most Efficient and Proficient Way to Learn a Language, The Blueprint. This is teaching you the foundation of learning the Hebrew language, more specifically, is what I'm focused on. And the steps that you could take to, as my elder of mine say, shorten the learning curve, because a lot of us are taking a long time to get to where we need to be because we don't know where to start. All right. This is Life Lessons Before Life Happens. This one has 49 topics of things that we have went through. All of us, those that's watching this, that have went through, and we didn't know how to get out of it. We didn't know how to avoid it. So this is good for ages 12 and up. Life Lessons Before Life Happens. All right. A Manual to Self-Preservation, Divine Conscience. This one was written, I believe, in 2019. This is dealing with just you as an individual trying to learn how to preserve yourself, right, in the midst of everything that is happening with you. And then you have Etem El Chadim, which is You Are Special. This is a Hebrew book. Comes with audio. The other one as well, the most proficient and efficient way to learn the language, comes with audios as well. But this one is for the children and adults, but it has pictures and things of that nature for them to go through. So hopefully, if you all are interested, let us know. Um, Leave it in the comments, and we'll go from there. All right. Appreciate you, and we will get back to you soon. Hopefully, we hear from you. Hopefully, you let us know what you thought, and the Most High bless and guard you. Hello.